Dude, you're looking
Dominic,
good, man.
stop smiling so much, Dominic. You're a heel. Heels don't smile so much. Stop
He's
smiling.
happy to see
Yeah, but
me.
I'm a good looking heel. That's why I gotta
Okay.
smile. I got a pretty face. I gotta show people I got nice teeth, the hair, the
Okay.
mustache. I got these haters. You know, I can't just if I stay sad the whole time. You know, I got Liv with me. She's a pretty girl. I can't just be walking around all sad. I'm a
You know
happy
what,
guy.
Dom? That is a great point. You have Liv and chicken nuggies. You have no reason to be unhappy.
None at all. Even as a bad guy.
I want to know if that mustache has his own Instagram.
It should. This mustache is protected at all costs. It has its own insurance.
It's insured by Lloyd's of London.
You should put together a Dominic's mustache Instagram.
That's honestly, it's not a bad call. And just have
Hey.
like take it around like different historical, places. Have different moms and aunts, and come take pictures with the mustache.
Yeah.
Get the husbands angry.
Well, I mean, Dom, I have been saying this since day one, and Mark and Bully will back me up on this, that a lot of the hate you get is out of jealousy. Because, you are good looking and you got the great mustache, the beautiful hair. Now you're walking to the ring with somebody from New Jersey. There's no better state in our great country than New Jersey. So I think it's a lot.
I'm a San Diego kid. Don't start like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
listen, there's always second place, Dom. And then,
the
so I
city in the
think
world? Come on now.
greatest state in the world's New Jersey, but San Diego's fine. Nice weather. But it is out of jealousy. So you agree with that a lot of the hate is because of jealousy.
100%. There's really nothing to hate me for. I mean, you can find what you want. People say, "Oh, you're Rey Mysterio." Who's Rey Mysterio? I'm the greatest Mysterio of all time. Like
you're talented. Your legacy. You're rich. You're handsome. You got the girl. You probably drive a badass car.
I drive a Porsche, by the way.
Oh, son of a bitch. The guy's got it made, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
You guys get it. Legends of the game, except, LaGreca in your own way.
Hey, listen, man, you may have a Porsche. I have a 2012 Nissan. There's nothing wrong with a 2012 Nissan Sentra, Dom. You gotta be frugal nowadays. You know what I mean?
You do you. You do you.
You do. Dave does Dave a lot.
Yeah. I do. Listen.
Other
whatever
than the
helps.
3 guaranteed nights a year, Dave does Dave a lot.
3 guaranteed nights.
All right, let's get into what's going to happen tonight. Obviously, your Liv Morgan has a big match against Rhea Ripley, your ex. This is a big night for the WWE, a big night for you. The landscape is changing. We've been talking about it all show long. How excited are you for this debut episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix tonight?
Man, I'm super excited. I feel like I grew up in the era of like watching Netflix. Like Netflix became popular as I was growing up, and it just became like this phenomenal thing that just absolutely took over our culture, right? Like you got Netflix and chill, you got all these older things that you can do with Netflix, and like all the great shows that they put out, like just everything in general that Netflix does. Yeah, sports with boxing and what they did with the NFL on Christmas, like it's just a humongous platform that never in a million years did I think the WWE would, it was the longest episodic running television show in history, right? So like for me, I never would have imagined that we're making that jump into, what we call streaming now. And like, I feel like that's just going to be a game changer for us. I have a lot of Mexican family that hits me up and they're like, Dom, where can we watch you? Oh, USA on Mondays. But now it's like, you can tune in on Netflix at any point in time on a Monday and watch Raw anywhere around the world, which I think is going to be, it's honestly going to be absolutely insane. And I feel like it's such an honor to just be a part of this, and it's going to be massive.
Dom, I'm not a big fan of cliche questions, but this is going to be kind of cliche. Myself and Mark remembered you from the, first day we saw you running around a ring as a child, coming to the shows with Dad and yada, yada, yada. where you're at right now in your career, did you think this is where you'd be? Are you completely happy with where you're at? Are there different goals that you have for yourself that maybe the WWE doesn't have for you right now?
Um, Honestly, yes, yes, and yes. I never thought that I'd be at this point in my career, going into my fifth year now with the company, debuting in 2024. I'm in 2020, even though I am a 20-year veteran of the game, technically debuted in '05. But it's been a crazy ride, man, and I've been happy to be a part of it. Everything just kind of happened so fast, and I really do think that being in the business so long, like just like you said, running around the ring, just being around it, I really do think I like developed these little habits just from like watching everybody and just how everything got picked up. And I do have goals that I don't think the WWE might have for me, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna make those goals for me one
Can
way
you
or another.
can you share one of those goals that you have for yourself that you don't think that they have for you?
Um, I don't even necessarily know if it's like because it's it's a machine, right? These guys are just constantly moving so fast that like they don't necessarily tell you what's going on or what they have in plan for you. So for me, I want to win singles gold, and I don't necessarily know if they have that in mind for me. Especially with all this stuff going on with Liv, and then we have JD, we got Carlito, we got Finn. So like honestly, I don't know where their mind is. I just know that one way or another, our plans will align because I'm gonna like they're not gonna have a choice but to put a title on me.
Dominic, we see the advancements that you've made and the success that you've had in pro wrestling. Um, when are you going to take the throne of Edward James Olmos and Danny Trejo and all of the Hollywood? When does Dominic go Hollywood?
Man, I don't know if Hollywood's ready for Dom. At this point, I feel like I gotta make my point and my statement here in the wrestling world. Like I said, I'm 4 years in. I already got people that have been in this business for years trying to catch up to me now, and it's like it's honestly such a blessing, and I really do feel like I can grab the bull by the horns and just take it. So I really want to cement myself here as the greatest Mysterio of all time because you say the name Rey Mysterio and all these accolades and thoughts come of it. You think Dominik Mysterio, you think Dirty Dom, you think this kid who turned on his dad, but I'm gonna make it to the next level, and I'm gonna take the Mysterio name to places it's never been before, and then we'll go Hollywood.
Dom, you said something interesting because, I'm blessed to be able to work with Bully and Mark. And, they describe this business and how long it takes to really get it. And sometimes it could take decades before you really understand it and get a crowd to react to you. You just said you've been doing this for really just over 4 years. And yet just your presence gets a reaction from the crowd. Like before you even speak a word into a microphone, you get a reaction from that crowd. The fact that you've been able to do that and have it click so early in your career, how important and how difficult was that for you to do?
Honestly, it was really difficult, but at the end of the day, I had the right people next to me, guiding me, helping me throughout this whole process. Guys like, Roman Reigns, guys like John Cena, guys like the Usos, just helping me and guiding me through this, when I first started the live events, I've said this a million times, but tagging with my dad and John Cena against Roman and the Usos for an entire summer leading up to Roman and John Cena, like that was huge for me. Like I had no business being in the ring with those guys, and still they took the time to, help me, guide me, and just move me in a certain direction where it would help me and benefit me in the long run. And I genuinely feel like everyone I've worked with from even at the beginning with Seth, everyone has just done a really good job of helping me and go through this whole process that um like I kind of got to give some of them credit because at the end of the day, I feel like I'm a good listener, and in this business, you gotta be a good listener at the end of the day sometimes. I really do feel like they've helped me along this journey.
Dom, you mentioned a lot of very influential names, a lot of smart names. You just said that you're a good listener, which me and Mark perked up when you said that, because that's very important for any talent, let alone young talent, to be as a good listener. I'm sure you get a lot of advice from a lot of different people in the locker room. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it difficult for you to sift through that advice to find out what works best for you? Like, how do you get through the advice without, I guess, coming off disrespectful? Because I'm sure not all the advice is going to work for you, but how do you get through the advice? And whose advice do you find yourself taking the most?
Honestly, I feel like I do take, because I don't want to. Again, I am a bad guy, but at the same time, I don't know everything. I want to be like as knowledgeable as I can, so I can eat you up with my knowledge. Like if you don't know where we're at, I'm gonna eat you alive, and that's what I want, you know. So I think I try to take a little bit from everybody that says anything to me. I take a little bit of everything, you know, and I try to apply it, whether it's the next night on live events or we just had this Christmas loop, which was like 5 days in a row. So everything that I would listen to or hear, I would try to apply it in the ring, whether it worked there, I be able to tell, be like, this isn't working. I'd move on to the next thing, be like, oh, okay, this something moved here or something is different here that wasn't working before. So then I'll apply it the next day. And just little things like that, I feel like have helped me grow throughout my career.
Are you so surprised that you clicked as a bad guy? I mean, here you are. Everybody knew you as a child. You know, your father is one of the most popular wrestlers of all time. And here you are being one of the most hated wrestlers on Monday Night Raw. Did you expect that? And how happy are you being in that role?
I didn't expect it at all. You know, for me it was more of like in my head, I was thinking Rey Mysterio, Dominik Mysterio, we're gonna be the best father son tag team that ever existed. Like that was what was going through my head when we first started this whole journey. But I got a little bit of taste of what it was to be a heel, and it just felt so natural to me, right? I just felt so comfortable, just because of, like I said, being around it for so long as a kid. Like I watched my dad growing up and I was with him at home, but like the guys that I really like sunk my teeth in and like really wanted to like pick their brains, guys like Eddie Guerrero, guys like Dean Malenko, you know, guys like Juventud Guerrera and Psychosis that worked with my dad all the time, that just their mannerisms and how they moved and certain things like that. I was like, my brain was like, this is where it's at.
Dom, in your opinion, in 2025, what makes a good heel?
Honestly, I think I think it's all perception, right? I think it's all perception of how the fans see you and how you kind of want to portray yourself. Because I don't know, I feel like there's bad guys that are heels that, you know, want to be cool heels and want to do this stuff and still be cool and still kind of be. You got to embrace being the heel. You got to embrace the booze. You can't half-ass it and be like, oh, I'm gonna. No, you got, if you're gonna be a heel, you got to be a heel. Like you can't be mean to their parents and then the kids come by and be like, oh, hi, you know, hi son, it's your birthday. Hi. No, kid, everybody's got a birthday. You're not special. Like that's just what it is, you know. And I feel like some people just can't, like they can't accept being like rude to kid. Like no, it's just you gotta go 100% in.
I think I'm in love.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Dom, is be the opposite of the Rock, right? You know, embrace the role that you're in. You
Yeah,
know.
I don't even like to talk about these old heads too, because I feel like they just, you know, no offense, you know, but you got guys like Rock and Cena coming in, and it's like, I don't know, they saw something cool and they're like, oh, let me jump on the train.
Dude, I mean, I thank you, Dom, because I've been saying that since day one. I did a whole rant that The Rock took exception to and, you know, tried the best as he could to fire back at me on Instagram. But all right, now all of a sudden the WWE is cool again, doing the best business that it's ever done. and now you want to jump back in and be part of the party. Sorry, pal, don't work that way. Love it, Dom. For you, and tonight's a big night. Raw on Netflix. This is landscape changing for the WWE. And I asked your dad about this. Dom, not only have you had a WrestleMania match, but you've had a WrestleMania match against your father. Like, in your wildest dreams, could you ever imagine that not only you would be at a WrestleMania, but at a WrestleMania wrestling your dad?
No, and not only that, but I got my own entrance. Like I got my own special entrance that's like it's Dirty Dom. Like no one else's entrance on WrestleMania 39 is like that, coming out in a paddy wagon with the music, and like it was different for me. It was very special, and they try to make it like, I remember I was surprised when I got told about the entrance. I had no idea until a week before. So like for me that was super cool. And even like I've spoken about it before, I was a bit upset because I was like, man, I wanted to make the walk down the long ramp. Then I was like, the more I thought about it, I was like, nah, man, fuck that. I was like, everyone walks down the long ramp. I was like, I get my own entrance. I was like, this is iconic. I was like, this is special. So that's when it kind of like really hit. And then, you know, I feel like my dad and I had talked about wrestling each other for years, or not even wrestling each other, wrestling together. So the fact that we were able to do it against each other, 2 hours away from home in LA, when we're from San Diego. So like for me, that was definitely a dream come true, very, very early on in my career. So I'm glad I got to put the boots to him early.
Dominik, the camaraderie of the boys, it's always a big thing in locker rooms, no matter if it's us old heads or you young heads. We spend so much time together on the road. I saw a picture on social media. It might have been a year ago. This is when you, Rhea and Priest and you and everybody in the Judgment Day were on the same page, but it was a picture from inside the car. You guys, about 5 of you in a car, humping the road, making the towns. And I really loved the picture because it speaks volumes to, a veteran like me. Whoever you're driving with these days, the guys, whether it's Finn, I don't know, it's Carlito, or whoever you're traveling with, obviously live. How's the camaraderie on the road amongst you and your crew these days?
Honestly, I feel like it it's brought everyone closer together, like you mentioned from that picture. Like when we were the old Judgment Day, Rhea, Damien, Finn, Priest, and myself, and JD as well, we would all ride together. We'd get a big ass van and we would all ride together. And I'd be kind of the pain in the ass because I'm coming from the West Coast and they're on the East Coast, so they'd have to sit there and wait for me. But either way, they'd sit there and wait for me, and we'd hit the road. Usually I'd be the driver, um, as I should be. And then,
wow, you took the words out of my mouth. Attaboy, Dom, as you should be.
Yeah. But unless Priest liked to drive, I can't. If he wanted to drive, I couldn't fight him. We tried not to let Finn or Rhea behind the wheel.
Why?
None of the overseas kids get to touch the wheel.
Overseas kids.
Yeah, that's a no for us. But honestly, and even nowadays, like I've ridden with guys like Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, Bronson Reed. It's honestly just super fun, man. Like the fact that we can all just get together and like hang out and ride, hit the road for a couple hours, stop and get some food. We'll turn off the music and we'll just play beats and freestyle. Like like honestly, anything goes on the road. So it's really fun that those traditions from back then still carry on to now.
It's important.
Dominic, if you were gonna stop to eat, where would be your choice?
Depends on who I'm in the car with. Like I love Waffle House, but some guys don't like Waffle House. I'm also a giant kid, so like I could stop and eat anywhere as long as they got like nuggets or like French fries or something.
How do you not like waffles?
Oh, I love Waffle House.
I know,
but, like,
right?
Some people can't. Like, I'm like, it's just waffles and egg. Like, what's the issue here?
It's breakfast all day long.
I love it, man.
I love it. I love Waffle House.
And you can eat healthy at Waffle House.
Yeah.
But what's the point, though? You're already at
I
Waffle
mean,
House.
look at Tommy Dreamer. He hasn't eaten healthy in Waffle House in 25 years.
Leave
Stop.
Tommy alone.
I'm glad he's doing. Is he doing good, Tommy?
Yeah,
for a man
Tommy's
his
doing
size,
great.
absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
he's 360.
Damn.
Come on. What is wrong with you both? My
He's not
goodness.
360. That's his cholesterol level.
fair
Oh,
enough.
my goodness. Dom, listen, this is game day, so we appreciate you joining us this morning. Big night tonight for you, big night for the WWE on Netflix, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be streaming. We'll be watching it live. We'll be talking about it tonight, and we'll be talking about it in the morning. Dom, thank you for being a friend of the show. Appreciate the time as always.
Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.